Welcome back YouTube to another episode on Mark's shed. Today we're going to be talking about the roof, and I'm going to cover very vaguely, because I don't know your area or where you're watching from, some sort of like planning guidelines, I'm going to call them. I don't know what else to call them, they're just guidelines. There's a few little things I can suggest to help you with these guidelines and regs, but I don't know what area you live in, so they could be completely different in your area, so please only use them as guidelines. Always speak to planning authority and just check that what you're about to do is okay. And while I'm here, welcome to the main page, guys. If you haven't already, consider checking out the Discord. We've got nearly 20 people in there now, I think, and it's an awesome community. It's just like Skype, it's like the old school MSN. Leave whenever you want, say whatever you want, as long as you're nice and respectful. And yeah, if I just quickly click here, you click on that, loads up Discord, and here we go. So yeah, we've got general chit chat. Aaron's been showing me some tower scaffold. Thank you, Aaron. Ask for any help, random. Going live is where I drop my little lives, as well as you should, guys, if you turn on all the bell notifications, you should also get the notifications like that. I'll cover that in a second. All things food, pets, Mark, Cookie. He's got some awesome Lego sets, and this is why we're designing this shed today for him. And then just all things to do with our vans. It's awesome. Consider it. You don't have to. No one's obliged. And yeah, here's our members. All free. I cannot stress enough. All free. Ask whatever you want, and I'll do the best to help you. And some of the other lads in there are clued up, and they're pretty helpful as well. They'll help you as well. It's just something to consider. But yeah, back on the main channel. When you the only way I can show you guys is by using another channel. So another channel I watch sometimes when I'm not doing my YouTube, this one here. So when you do this, make sure you turn on all notifications and not just personalized, and then you'll get notifications every time they upload. Anyway, I'm waffling. Right, roofing, and I'm going to insert a clip in a second. Right, so while I put this little Google sheet up about this guidelines, the floor area is not so much an issue, but your height is probably going to be your biggest issue, guys. And just, yeah, you need to sort of, if it's close to your fence line, make sure you can walk shoulder to your building, and obviously get a nail gun, swing a hammer. Make sure there is a decent gap all the way around your shed. Make sure your water from the roof doesn't splash or drip onto the neighbors. Yeah, just don't be, just be respectful, don't be a nuisance. If you build your shed as the fence line, that is called a party wall agreement. You will need planning permission. Everybody will need to agree that it's okay for your shed to be the fence line, and that's very unlikely to happen. So don't start thinking you can put your shed up on your boundary in the bottom corner of your garden. But yeah, I'm just inserting this little piece here for you guys to read, and just use it as a guideline, and always check with your local authority. So when it comes to the overall height, and shout out to Palo, I'm not sure what his name is, but excellent lad. He's given me some tips. So my little tip now is I can pull on this blue line. As long as I'm on that blue line, I can type in 2,500 millimeters, enter, bosh, that does that straight away. Now then, if I go all the way down there and come down here like this, I can see from the floor I'm already over my height limit. So guys, that is why it's not that important to you when you start to build your sheds, but I'm nicely, if you're watching this, I'm telling you, advising you, consider having the soil away and sinking your pad. That helps you in one way. That is the number one way to get over your height restriction. Right, but we need to check that Mark's shed from, say, the top of this pad now, 2.5. There we go. So we barely have any fall at all, because the inside of Mark's shed is, let me stop doing that. Dun, dun, dun. So from there to, if I lock onto the blue line like that, if I then touch this corner here, Mark's shed is 2,438. That will be because I've measured 2 meters 400 from the pad, and I've then come up 38 mil when I should have gone down. My mistake. So Mark, remember to stay under 2.5 meters. Helping you by staying under this 2.5 meters mark. Nothing, once you've built your shed, this is very naughty, but nothing stops you. I mean, you've got to consider water flooding in when you make something lower than the external ground. You're very safe if you go flush, but you could. Nobody said, looking at the webcam, nobody says that when you put this tape down and measure to the top of your shed, nobody said you can't lift the ground up. You obviously can't just do a foot strip around the shed. It has to be a feasible amount to qualify. But if you're tight on restrictions, guys, and like that 2.5 limit is very tight, I didn't tell you, but lift the ground up. Obviously do your absolute best to sink your shed first, pay for your grab and pay for your muck away, or lose the soil somewhere else in the garden. Remember, the water might ingress if you make the soil around it higher than the pad, so you've got to make sure you've got like a water check. Yeah, but there's a nice, polite little tip that I shouldn't be telling you, that I will tell you. If you need to meet building regs, it's how you manipulate the building regs to work for you. Moving on. Right, so yeah, if you can then nicely sync your pad like this, and make all of that flush, then go into 2.5. Mark, I would advise going to 2.3. You did send me a load of messages in the Discord, didn't you? And I think it was like 2.2 to the top of your Billy bookcases. So 2.4 is way too high, but I've gone to 2.4 just because that's the length timber comes in. But please guys, remember to stay under 2.5. So I'm going to imagine this is 2.3 and not 2.4, and I'm going to add 100 mil. So if I come off here, if I then go in the center of that, to the center of that, then I want to wait until this turns blue. There it is. Right, now that I'm on this blue line, I'm going to type in 2,600. Enter. Right, here we go. And I'm going to find that red line. I'm going to hold down shift, and I'm just going to mark the back here. Right, let's do that. Let's do that. Right, there we go. We have the basis pitch. It's a very, very, very small pitch. Much like mine in my garden is very shallow because I had to make sure I was under the height. As long as it's got a fall on it, nobody says it has to be 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 20 degrees, 25 degrees. It just has to have adequate fall. If you put it in flat, you are asking for some problems. It's going to, especially if it's a large area like Mark's shed here, it's probably going to pull up, then it will sag because of the weight of the water, and then next thing you know, the roof will cave in. So if you can, put a decent fall on it and just drop your side walls to like 2.2 meters. You'll be able to stand up at 2.2 meters. 6 foot is like 183, 185 centimeters, so you're still well above your head at even like at 2 meters, let alone 2.2. That's still a very tall shed. 2.2 meters would be like you reaching up and touching the ceiling flat foot sort of thing. That would give you plenty of height. Realistically, I guess you could do like 2 meters or 1.9 and then have the 400 as the pitch, but it's up to you guys what you guys get up to and what you want to do. But I'm just saying, make sure you speak to the local authority. I'm waffling. Let's get on with this build, guys. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start drawing. I might mention a few things about how this lad has reached out to me in the comments and taught me some new things. But if not, enjoy this time lapse and I'll see you at the end, guys.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Right then guys, so this has taken me a lot longer, this episode. I'm still trying to like learn all the different bits, but there we go, that. And then once you lay out, say your rubber, your EPDM rubber roof, that would look like, if I go back, here we go, Firestone rubber roofing. If you just go down to Perma Roof, this is like, it's not exactly Cambridgeshire, but this is like a local company to me that I would use. Flat roof kits. I think they're in the, let me find out where they are. They're up and down the country. They DPD it to you next day. None of these are going to work, but yeah, look, you could basically pick your shed size, add it to the basket, and that would be it. That would come with the glue and everything. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So if I said, yeah, I want it in black, and if I said I want it 3 meters, 3 by 6, because I think Mark's shed's 5 point something by something, 609. So there you go, 609 quid. You would go add to cart, go to checkout, 507.50 without thingy. What is this going to do? Yeah, it's then going to start asking you for your address. Yeah, it's then going to start asking you guys for your address. But yeah, you would get that on, and yeah, you would start to have a shed. I would either, you're going to have to sail them over, aren't you? You either want to, if you just come over there, 125 mil, and then we'll just erase that. 125 mil will be plenty for an overhang. I think I've got 100, so you've got an extra inch there. Instead of 4 inches, you've got 5. Let's do the same on this side. There we go. So yeah, obviously, realistically, you obviously need to be doing that. I have to say, all the tips that lad gave me, apart from this tip, there we go. Line, drop on the vertical, 18, enter, go to there, lock on the red axis, meet at that point, go up vertically, come around here and tap into that there, click on the OSB, there we go. So yeah, and that just allows you to have that overhang there, guys. All right, there you go, guys. And if I was to roughly calculate where we was at, just in wood, right guys, so if I sat here in my basket and just nicely said, we've got like 6 along this back wall, and I think we've got like 16 along this wall. So look, if I said 32 would make it for walls, left and right. If I then said plus 12, so that's 44. So if I then said 45, that's like the basic of like left and right. And if I then said you want noggins in the roof, so if I then said you order 60, and in the roof, it's like 1, 2 and a bit, 1, 2, so that's 4. If I said, where are we? So if I said order 8 of those, Mark, you're at that. Now, that's a lot of money, but tell me, for £1,100, can you buy a 5.5 metre by 2.8 metre timber frame shed? Like for a 5.5 metre by like nearly 3 metres in a shed format, you're going to be talking what, £3,000, £4,000? I get it, I've not put the rubber roof on, I've not ordered bricks. So look, bricks, engineering brick. Whoa. Okay, you don't want to buy them like that. Right, it's not going to let me buy individuals, so look, if I just said, well, that'll be more than enough. I'm going to have to tick collection, continue shopping, high load damp, 1 roll will be plenty. These guys don't do the roofing, but if I said add 650 odd quid? If I said add £700 on top of this, Mark, that would include your roof. You've already got your doors. If I said 38 by 50, 3.6, you don't want 3.6, you want 4.8. So, oh yeah, apologies, they're 4.8. Let me halve that. They're 4.8, you can cut them in half. So once I've quantified one side, that's enough for one side. So if I said doing those at 400 centres, if I said there was 20 of them and 10 of them on the end, if I said 30 collected, that should be enough to go all the way around the shed and some. Let's go back to this. Don't want 60, say 32 to be safe. That's still probably plenty. There we go. Let's drop that down to that much for all of that. And you won't even need all of them. So if you could buy those individually or elsewhere, or just use some common old bricks, won't have the same damp proof. So yes, it will lift the building off the floor to get you out of moisture. It won't stop damp rising. Only engineered bricks would prevent or help prevent the damp from rising. So we've got some batten in there, we've got 30 lengths of that, 32 lengths of that, that's 4.8. That's 4.8. It says C16, ideally you want C24. And this is built at 600 centres, so yeah, like if I said 400 centres and I said order 40, it only bumps your price up by that much, and that gives you plenty. 8 sheets, these are already on offer, so that is a cracking deal, to be honest. What else have we included in this build? And then look, if I just said fence, no, if I type in cladding, not that kind of cladding, that's why everything's coming up like that. 19 mil, 14.5 by 95. Yeah, always go for this. This now is working out at per meter, and it's going to cover 120. Quick maths, get your phone. How long is it? No, that's per meter, ain't it? So I just asked for the linear meterage. This is what will probably kill the build, but understand that this is 14.5mm finish size compared to this stuff is slightly cheaper. Oh, but it's small, it's 100mm. You're better off sticking with that mark. If I said do your ceiling height at 2.3 to 300, although you're coming off the floor. So if I said 2 meters 200 divide 125 equals 17.6. If I said 18 lengths high. If I said there's 5 lengths, so if I'd done 5 times 18, that's 90 meters. So if I then done 3 times 18, 3 times 18, that is 54 meters plus 90 equals 144 times 2, 288. So if I said you wanted to allow for waste 300 meters, now you wouldn't want 300 meters actually, because you're going to cut out for 2 doors. So if I said allow for 280, well, 2,800, 280, don't put 2 lots in there. I bet you it puts 2 lots in there. Cool. That's definitely put 2 lots in there. Where are we? 580. 280, and yeah, talking of that, I said that that'd be 400 centres. Ignore that, leave that at 600 centres by 40 lengths, and by 450 by 45 lengths of 3x2. Get 8 sheets of OSB for your roof, a pack of engineering bricks I can't price for any lower, high load damp 1 roll, batten 30 lengths, and a roundabout, please, I'm very much roughly calculating this, 280 lengths of that redwood ship clapping that is X 19 by 125 that finishes 14 by 119mm, so it's like 14mm by 120. If you ordered all of that and say some sand, you don't want plaster and sand, grit. No, you don't want sharp, do you? You want soft bulk. Travis Perkins, plaster and sand, building sand, there you go. Collection. Don't need any brick ties. OPC cement. These bags, don't leave them outside. You shouldn't leave any outside, but if you had to, these are the polythene bags, the yellow and blue, but these ones are obviously far cheaper. These were like £4 when I was an apprentice at Go to Basket. So you won't need this much, but if you had to quantify it, for every ton bag, buy like 12, and then is what you do is you half the bag of cement, so it's like 12.5 kilo in the mixer, 12 shovelfuls or 10, and then another 10 or something. Trying to think how the mix works out. Depends how strong you want it. You probably want like 5, half a cement, and then another 5 shovels of sand, and like half a bucket of water, depending on the day, because the sand could be laid out the front dripping wet. I've been recording for hours, guys. I've chewed your ears off. Apologies. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, let me know if you want to do any more, Mark, and everyone else. Comment below. Let me know if you enjoy me quantifying this build and talking about this build and how I'd build it. So there you go. If I said £3,000, if you've already got your pad near enough, you've got a substantial last for life shed, £3,000. And this is at Travis's base rates. You may be able to get a deal if you walked in nicely and said, what's your best price on all of this? But I couldn't promise that because I'm not Travis. Depends how well you get on with your local Travis, doesn't it? Right guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to stop waffling. Don't forget guys to check out all these links. Consider joining Discord. You can welcome to check out my second channel. I've got Gym Insta, Main Insta, the Carpentry Insta, the Carpentry Facebook, TikTok. You're welcome to follow any of them. Thanks for watching guys. Peace. Bye bye.